Hello, I'm Christine with What's Up Cupcake Whimsical Crafts, and welcome to my channel. I had a bit of a hiatus this past week or so, and I did not ultimately get a video out for this past week. I just have had a lot going on. I'm now battling a cold and life has just been lifing, but I wanted to share some of the updates of things I've been working on because I have a crazy market weekend this upcoming weekend and have been working hard at making all of the things while juggling life in general. So let's grab a project, grab a beverage, and hang out for a little bit while we talk all things crochet. So I have been making so many things. I made over 30 plushies this past couple of weeks with a few things kind of in progress too, and I'll get into that, as well as doing a tester call that actually the pattern for that tester call went live Sunday, the 12th. So this should be the day after that, assuming I get everything in my life together. And we'll talk about that tester call. And then I'm working on another tester call right now, so I don't have anything I can share for that just yet because I did not confirm if we could share things for that tester call. So I'll just err on the side of caution and not. But in addition to that, it's just been hunkering down, working on replenishing my bestsellers, replenishing items that I think will do really well for my markets this upcoming weekend. In particular, I'm doing a market on Friday night and it's called Boozilla. And so it's like a whole Halloween theme. There's going to be a parade that goes through the downtown of this super cute city by me. And then the next day I am doing a market at a local outdoor shopping center that has just generally nicer stores and restaurants and tends to get a lot of foot traffic, especially around now when it's the fall and amping up for holiday season. So it's going to be a crazy weekend. I've never had two separate markets back to back, especially not the evening of one day and then the day of the next, like not even a full 24 hours. So I'm a little bit in panic mode, especially because some things did sell out at my last market. These are all great problems to have, but it has definitely made me focus my efforts on certain things in replenishing. In addition to that, I also have been working on getting my Etsy shop up to date. I replenished a bunch of my safety eyes that I hand paint. I've been making new amigurumi sticks. I've been trying to take new photos and get new listings up. So it's just been really busy in general. And my day job, if you've been here for a while, there's been some stuff going on. It's still going on. And I was in like a workshop on site all last week, which it was good in the long run, and I got a lot of good time with people that I've worked with for a long time, and I don't want to go into it because I'll probably cry. But it was a really good week. It was just really intense and emotional and hard, but I'm ready to just focus on all the things crochet that bring me joy and kind of peace, except for the fact that I'm like frantically crocheting things for these markets. So yeah, I have a bunch of other things to share, but we'll get to that after I talk through some of the patterns I've been replenishing for this weekend. So let's just jump into that right now. First things first, I completely wiped out of my mystery boxes at my last market. So I think I had 10 boxes and I do 6 items amongst my boxes. I sold all of my boxes. Maybe I even had 12, but no, I didn't have 12 because that would be 2 full sets. I had almost 2 full sets at the last market and completely sold out of them. A lot of people were buying multiple mystery boxes. A lot of like pairs of friends were coming up and buying mystery boxes to see what each other got. So just in general, my mystery boxes were a hit last week. And so I had to, not last week, 2 weeks ago. So I had to replenish those. And my goal is to have 4 sets of mystery boxes completely replenished for this upcoming market weekend. I don't know if that's going to be the case. I have 2 of everything so far, except for 1 item. So let's look at that. First things first, my mystery boxes are primarily Poggy's Place patterns. And I have done so many of the patterns from their various bundles in my mystery boxes and ultimately decided to like narrow it down because there were so many choices. I think people were overwhelmed slash didn't think they have as much of a chance of getting something that they wanted if they were like hunting an item down in particular. So now I just have these 6 items, 5 of which are Poggy's Place patterns and 1 is a different one. So it's the platypus pattern. I have 2 of these. They're very cute. I do it in this mustard color. I think sometimes I've done it in the brown, but there's so many items in here that are already brown that I wanted to mix it up. I have 2 little beavers. Adorable. I have 2 monkeys. I love their little tails. And these fit perfectly in those question mark boxes that I get mine on Amazon. Everything that I talk about here will be linked in my description below. I have a link to my website, whatsupcupcakecrafts.com, and I have the patterns I'm using. I have supplies that I'm using, all sorts of things like that. So if you're wondering about any of that, including the yarns, check out that link and it will have the details for you. And 2 fireflies. I love these fireflies. If I was going for a mystery box, this would probably be what I wanted from it, aside from maybe the next item. So what I did not replenish from the Poggy's Place patterns is the possum. I just haven't done it yet. So I will do that next. And I didn't do it because it had the biggest difference or variation in colors from what I was able to like pack with me to be working on the road or like while out and about. So those are all Poggy's Place patterns. And then these little anglerfish are so adorably creepy. I love them. So this is the other thing that like if I got this in a mystery box, I would love this. But this is from Dew Cotton. And yeah, I love this pattern. It is just so cute. And I think it's perfect as like a little mix up for the mystery box. So I have 10 items for mystery boxes. I just need to do the opossums. And again, hopefully I can do 2 more sets of each of these. We'll see. I use a Elise Veludo yarn for all of my mystery box plushies. It just comes out the perfect size with these patterns. It's super soft. They're kind of like, I don't know, like a baseball size. And again, it fits in those question mark boxes perfectly. I do label my question mark boxes on the bottom with a number, and each of these is in a spreadsheet with the number associated with it. I haven't memorized what that list is, so I couldn't tell you what number 1, 2, 3 or whatever is, but I generally tell people like if they're trying to get different things to go for different numbers between 1 through 6. So especially if I have like a couple sets out because I'm like trying to fill up a display, as long as you're not getting 2 number 6s, you'll get something different or whatever. So that's the little mystery box filler items. And I imagine that will probably do really well between the 2 markets this weekend. So that's why I really want to get those replenished. In addition to that, let me just get comfy here because we're going to hunker down. My adoption kits have been doing a lot better. I think they did great for a while. And then I kind of like, I changed out a couple of the patterns because I wanted to have like a consistent price across the board for them. And I think with that, like it just got lost in translation a little bit, but, they did fantastic this past weekend. And like, I'm feeling like I've got the adoption kit back down again, like nailed it again. But I do snakes in my adoption kits, and I pretty much sold out of all of my snakes except for maybe 2 at the last market. So I made 4, and this is the swirly snake pattern by Zazulia. I love this pattern. I love to batch make it. I usually do like a bunch of the heads and then do a bunch of the bodies and then work them all together, but it's nice and quick and mindless. It takes very minimal stuffing. Only the head has a little bit of stuffing, so that's great. And I love like the springiness of it. I think a lot of people do. Like usually they gravitate to it and they instantly start like springing the little snake. So that's one of the items in my adoption kit. I do rats too. I have to replenish those still. I do little puppies from, what's the name? The Stitch Chronicles. So I do little puppies from the Stitch Chronicles, and they actually just came out with a cat pattern. And I was lucky enough to be chosen as a tester for that pattern. So this is the pattern that just came out yesterday. And it is this cute little crocheted kitten. And it now matches perfectly with the puppies that I have in my adoption kits. I liked the kittens that I had before in my kits, but it was a little bit more work compared to the puppies. So I had to charge $1 extra. I could have like cut my losses on it, but it was enough work and materials that I didn't want to like become resentful having to replenish kittens. But this is like perfect because it's basically the same. It's the same designer. So it's similar style. It's no-sew. Yeah, it's no-sew. And it's just a great pattern. And so the pattern just released yesterday from the Stitch Chronicles, and it is a pack of, I think, 9 different cats. There's a whole bunch of cats. And when I tested, you're only given 1 or 2 cats to test. So you only see a couple of the patterns themselves and then the basic pattern. So I was looking like you can pick an additional pattern, you know, that you can get as a result of being a tester. But I was like, you know what, I might as well just get the pack, because especially right now, for the next few days, it's on sale for 40% off, I think. And there's so many variations of the cats in terms of colorways and stuff. I'd rather just have all of them. And they look so cute. So that's the little kitties I'll have in my adoption kit. So I do the rats, cats, and puppies at 15, and the snakes are 13. I can probably charge 15 for the snakes too, but I'm fine with keeping it at the 13 and the price difference for those. And they just come in little boxes. Again, it's linked in my description below, but it's really cute. Comes with a tiny little adoption certificate. I need to print some more of those. This is like my running to-do list of all the things I need to do as well. So I need to print some more adoption certificates. I just roll those up, put it inside the little to-go box, and the box itself has a little sticker on it that I print with my Munbin that just says like, hello, my name is, and there's a blank so that, you know, the person can write the name of their pet in there. And yeah, they're a big hit. People get really excited when they see the little box that it comes with and their certificate. If a kid is between a couple items and one of them is the adoption kit, and then I show that, that's usually what like pushes them over the edge. So yeah, so adoption kits, feeling better about those. I definitely need to make a couple more, at least a couple more cats, because I think I only had 1 cat left after the last market. And that one, I'll just do all cats now at 15. So I want to make some more cats. If I can, I'll make some more snakes. I might have 2 left from the last market, so I'll have 6 total. And I definitely need more rats. I might be okay on puppies. I don't know. I have to really like... But I also have to be realistic, because I don't want to stress myself out too much over all the things I need to make. And I have been very productive. So let's keep going. Next up, I did another ghost kitty. So I sold one of these at my last market, and I had one already. So I wanted to at least have 2. Again, I'm trying to, I've talked about this in my previous market recap videos. I feel like my booth looks a lot better when I do at least a couple of an item side by side. And even if one sells, then, you know, it is what it is. And that's what you want to happen. But when there's like multiple of something, I think it just looks nicer and cleaner. And it isn't kind of like a mishmash of me just throwing stuff all over the table. And it's easier for me to display too. So I did another ghost kitty. This is by Sphinx Crochet. These are my hand-painted safety eyes in Blue Nova. It's one of my favorite safety eye designs that I have done. I love it. And the ghost kitties are perfect for the white pupils. Like, I consistently use the white pupils on the ghost kitties, and I love how they turn out. I would love to do another ghost kitty before this market too, and it doesn't take that long to make. Again, it's just a matter of like the list of things that I have to make is ambitious at best. Sorry, I have like a hair like stuck to my face. I made an Oogie Boogie because again, it's Halloween time, kicking off the holiday season. I think Oogie Boogie also goes well beyond Halloween season. And I had one at my last market and it sold. I actually did a different pattern this time. So this is the Oogie Boogie by Madeline May. And previously I did the Nerdy Knits version, which has like the open mouth and it has bugs coming out, but I didn't do the bugs last time. And the other version is an interesting take on the pattern. I kind of wanted to see if I could do one with the mouth closed just for the sake of time. I think this probably took the same amount of time. So I might actually make another one of the Nerdy Knits and just have them side by side. They definitely are very different in the way that they look and their construction in general. So I don't know like how that would look with them being next to each other, but people get really excited to see him at markets, especially again during the holidays. So yeah, I think having at least a couple of him would be pretty cool, especially in time for this weekend's markets. We'll see what I can actually get done. But that's by Madeline May Co. And then I did 2 of my snowy owls. So these are like a bestseller at my markets. And I don't know if you can tell, but this one they're both Bernat blanket yarn. I should probably specify some of the yarns for these. So these are both Bernat blanket yarn. And this one is white and this one is baby white. So it's more cream colored. And apparently the wings that I did on this one are also baby white and more cream colored. I can't tell if it's going to drive me crazy. Like you can't see it in poor lighting, but in natural light you can. But I can't decide if it like throws it off or not. I don't know. What do you think? I would love to know. I don't have any more of the white. Like I scoured my collection. I thought I could probably switch it out with Naughty Pony white. It seemed like it was close enough in terms of the like how white it is. So this little ghost kitty is made with Naughty Pony yarn. And so the white, again, I think it's just a very like clean white. I don't know. What do you think? Is it noticeable? Is it a problem? Or just keep it like it is and move on? Because I have 2 of these owls. I sell them for $25 each. They fly off the shelves. I would like to make 2 more. I have the wings made for 2 more in like the Times Bernat blanket yarn that's kind of like a speckled. Here, I have one of them here. It's like this grayish white speckle. So I want to make 2 more of these owls with that, but I don't know like if I'm spending too much time even thinking about this, and the fact that I'm trying to like think of taking the wings off and redoing it. Maybe I'm just gonna leave it, unless you all write in the comments that it's horrible and that I'm a horrible human for leaving it. I don't know. I think it looks good overall, and I've had a couple friends see it in real life in person and they're like, no, it looks fine, but it bothers me. So I don't know. So those owls are the pattern from Love Me Dearly. It's a great pattern. I think there is a typo in the wings of the pattern, but if you know what you're doing, it's pretty obvious what to do because like the count is off. And I don't even notice it now. I don't have the pattern memorized, but like it's a fast make for me at this point because I've made it so many times, and I try to have at least 2 of them at my markets because it consistently sells well, sells out. So I would like to have 4 for the markets this weekend just to cover my bases. All right, next up, I had this little chick from Blossom Moon Crafts, and it's this chick. So I actually made this chick before, and I just hadn't made a costume for it. And when I was looking at my options of costumes, because I had one that was a shark, and that sold. And then I have one that's a Frankenstein. It hasn't sold yet. And then I have this ghost chick. The Frankenstein costume is sewn on, and you can't remove it because you'd see all the like ends underneath. But I wanted to do the ghost costume so that it actually could come off and there's no like ends you have to worry about. And I just think it's adorable. And I love that it's like a multi-purpose too, because it can be a ghost or it can just be a chick. But yeah, I think I sold these for 22. I might just drop it to 20 just to make it a nice flat number, especially because they're seasonal. They do take a little bit of time because you're making the whole item and then you're making a costume to go on the item. But it is very seasonal. So yeah, I would love to have more of those. I definitely just don't foresee myself being able to though before this weekend. So we'll deal with that later. Next up, I made these two adorable little octos, and I made them in orange. This is a Naughty Pony, and the pattern is again from Do Cotton. I have done their larger octo, and I had two of them at my last market, and both of them sold. And I think I sold them for 30 or 35. I think I'll probably have these for like 18. It's such a great pattern. I love it, especially for like my upcoming book market. I'm definitely going to have a bunch of these with the book cover for Remarkably Bright Creatures. But it's a fun pattern to make. It's fairly fast. The Naughty Pony yarn is perfect for it. I'm obsessed with Naughty Pony yarn. I actually have some Naughty Pony that we will unpack later from her second sale. So I was able to get a few things from that because just knowing the level of like care and attention that Carrie puts into her yarn. If you're not familiar with Naughty Pony yarn, Carrie is in Georgia. She came out with her own yarn line and it does not shed. It's super soft. It's thicker than Premier Parfait. It's probably closer to what's the other? It's closer to like Elise Veludo and the other Premier yarn. Chunky? Why am I completely drawing a blank? Basics. It's on the other side of my room too. It has a little bit of a shine on some of the colors, but not in a bad way. I think like it's just such a delight to work with. And so she had a second sale, and it's basically any yarn that she saw, like there was a factory knot on the outside of the skein. Well, that just means it's a factory knot you won't find on the inside of the skein. So I was like, yes, of course, I will happily also buy these. So yeah, I got some Naughty Pony yarn for that. And in general, I love to use Naughty Pony where I can. But going back to actually the makes that I did. So this is a Naughty Pony yarn, the chick with the costume. I love the yellow and orange she has. It's perfect for that. And this is in Premier Parfait in Artichoke, which I think is a great color for Oogie Boogie, especially pre-end of the movie Oogie Boogie. All right, this is another replenishment item of a bestseller. I pretty much sell one at every market. I would love to have a second for this weekend, but I likely will not. And it is the Highland Cow, just a sitting Highland Cow from Knot and Snuggles. It is a big boy. I put weighted plushies in him. This is Bernat blanket yarn, and I love this pattern. It's a lot, like it's big, but it doesn't feel like it takes forever to do. It comes together really fast. It can kind of be mindless. There is sewing. There's a lot of sewing and stitching on, but I don't know. This is kind of like one of the original patterns that I did and have since stuck with. And I can't say that about a lot of patterns because I have kind of evolved what my focus has been. But this Highland Cow is tried and true. And I think I sell them for 55. But yeah, I really, really love this guy. All of the eyes that I'm showing are eyes that I have hand painted. This is actually from my latest drop, Rapture. So it's this like crackly kind of orange look. And I think it's beautiful, especially on this cow. And I think I actually used it on one of those owls too. But yeah, I just love this cow. And I think like people tend to see it and gravitate towards it and get really excited. So it's one of those things where I do wish I could have multiple at my booth because it's just something that draws people in. And I have one in cream color. I've had people ask about that before. So I have one. It hasn't sold yet, but it'll be on display next to this one. And I think that they will be an adorable little pair together. Next up, I also had to replenish another bestseller. I feel like I've been saying that a lot, but of course, that's what I'm going to replenish. this Fury Dragon. So this Fury Dragon by Snuggle Beans Crochet, the pattern. And up until yesterday, I had never seen a How to Train Your Dragon movie, but the live action one just came out and we watched it with some friends last night. My kids are obsessed with it and they had not gone to see it in the theater for whatever reason. So we all watched it together for the first time and it was super cute. And I definitely see the appeal of Toothless. He's adorable. But yeah, this Fury Dragon, Naughty Pony yarn. This is the first time I've done it in Naughty Pony yarn. Normally I do it in Premier Parfait, but with the amount of sewing and pieces on this pattern, Parfait can be a little torturous, and doing this in Naughty Pony was a delight. She has limited colors because this is like, it's a big investment to take on your own yarn brand. So I think she has a dozen colors, but like black, white, like the solids, red, yellow, orange, and then she has 2 shades of blue, purple, and green. I think I got them all. That's not 12 colors. But yeah, so like her yarn though is perfect for things where it's just going to be like these basics, primary kind of options. So this Toothless, I generally, again, have had 1 to 2 at each of my markets. I think I actually had 3 at my market where I sold out of all of them a couple markets ago, and I just didn't have time to replenish it because it is a more time consuming pattern. I sell this for $45, and if I have to pick another thing to make 2 of between like this and the Highland Cow, would probably be this, especially with the movie just coming out on streaming. Yeah, I probably need to like get cranking on another Toothless. But yeah, I think he's really cute. And then I just do like a whole display with dragons and it usually draws people in, which then brings me to my next make that I replenished. I made 6 small baby dragons, or just 6 small dragons. I used the free pattern from Amateur Hour, and I either completely sold out of these small dragons at my last market or have maybe 1 left. And so I just knew I needed to replenish. And I do the basic colors of like black, white, gray, but then I try to do some other like fun colors like the blues and orange and gold. So these I sell for $17 each. They do take a bit of time. I use Bernat Blanket because I get the most variety in terms of colorways and options I can kind of play with, and I love how they turn out. I have thought of switching over my baby dragon pattern just to change things up. There's so many cool dragon patterns out there right now, but I find the amount of work that they each take, it's hard to price them at like a reasonable amount for how much work goes into it, and then the size that they come out to be, and I wanted something under the $20 range. So that's where these guys come in. So those will be in my dragon area of my display, which has quite a bit of like fantastical kind of creatures in it. Speaking of which, my little tripod cat just came in to join us. Last but not least of the things that I made were these shelf geese. I made 3 of them. I am obsessed with this pattern. It's by Crochet Grove, and I want to make like 12 more. They do take some time. I will probably sell these for like $32. Hi, Gizmo. You gonna come up? He's like, no, I don't want to. I just think that they're gonna be so popular. I'm gonna have them on like the top of my shelves, I think, and hanging over. Sorry, my cat is like wandering all around me, but if I tried to touch him, he'd get mad. So, nope, here we go. There's Gizmo. Hi, Gizmo. Hi. I don't want to knock him off because his balance is off because of his 3 legs, so. You gonna go check out some plushies? Yeah, he just likes to roam. Anyways, so I have my 3 shelf geese, and I don't know how Annabelle from Crochet Grove like comes up. Hi, I know. Hello. I don't know how she comes up with these designs. Like when I was doing this pattern, I was like, she's a genius. That's all it can be, because it just was so fascinating to me, the technique used on this. Don't mind me while my cat mauls me. Like I couldn't get over it. And each time I made one, I was like, this is amazing. How this, I never would have been able to think of this. And I saw Maddie from Granny by Nature was talking about it too. It's just amazing. Like you don't need to put weighted pellets in it. Just the way that it is structured, it just sits naturally. So it's great. Here, I don't know if you can hear his purring. Let's see. I'll check when I'm editing. Anyway, so Crochet Grove, sitting shelf goose, whatever it's called. Such a cool pattern. Naughty pony yarn again. The only exception being the bow on this one. I had a scrap of Elise Veludo and I was like, I'll make a bow from that one. But all of this is Naughty Pony and I love how they look. I think that is going to be a hit, especially as it gets closer to the holiday season, because I think it's just so unique in the way that it's made. See, there he goes. No, 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 let's not scratch my couch. Just, I know. He lost one of his legs like, gosh, 2 years ago. We don't know what happened. He broke his leg in multiple spots and we just found him like hiding and limping through the house. We're guessing he either got his leg caught on something and maybe freaked out and ran. I don't know, but it was a very emotional time and the vet ultimately was like, we could try to fix it and it would be many, many, many surgeries and he'd probably be miserable, or he could remove it and he'll get used to it and acclimated to it. So, I mean, if his purring right now is any indication, he's very spoiled and content, but he is a bit of a recluse, though he always was a recluse even before. And we have 2 other cats and a dog, and they all just have an interesting dynamic together. I don't know. If you have multiple pets, you probably know. Anyways, that's all of the plushies that I made. I'm throwing them back into this little basket. So things I absolutely have to make. I have to make more of the possums for my mystery boxes. I would like to make at least one more snowy owl. One more fury dragon. I'm working on another exploding cat from Avalon Crochets. I'm almost done with it. And I'm also, I need to do the wraps for my pet adoption kits. Let's see what else. Oh, my swing buddies. So I made 16 swings for my swing buddies. So now I just need to make the buddies themselves. And in particular, the ones that I am low on or sold out of completely and are my best sellers, the bee, yellow duck, Jeeps. A lot of people really like the yellow duck. Some mallard ducks. Penguins get really popular around the holidays. So I want to do some more penguins and maybe some chickens. I think I might just have 1 chicken left. And those don't take me a crazy amount of time. I sell my swing buddies for $13 each. I would like to have a lot of them because they do really draw people in. And I want to do, I have some new display pieces for my markets that are coming up that I have a 10 by 10 tent. I actually did a mock-up of my setup for once. That'll be my next video that I do because I'll talk through the process of that. But essentially, I have a nice upright display that I should be able to hang them on, which is going to free up some space for like my spinning rack that just takes up space on my table. And I might use the spinning rack for something else. I have plenty of other things I could use it for. But yeah, so that's, I need to do the swing buddies. Aside from that, I don't know. I have ghost dogs I'd like to replenish because I sold a lot of those at the last market. And if I'm going to sell them, it's going to be this weekend. And aside from that, yeah, everything else would be a nice to have. I'd like to replenish some of the items in my gachapon machine, though I have to crochet really fine yarn with that, which means a fine hook, and then I have to make them bag charms. I just don't know what my timing is going to look like. I know I have another busy week at work. We are taking the kids to a concert on Tuesday night to see the singer from one of my husband's favorite bands. So that means Tuesday night's out, and then the market is on Friday night. So it's not like I even have Friday night to like last minute prep. And then the next market is Saturday, so I won't have time to do any replenishment aside from maybe like early in the morning of that market day. Yeah, so a lot to make. Let's talk about some of the other stuff that I have from this past week or two. So I have a couple of other things I wanted to share. Mainly, you may have noticed things look a little different. I got a new camera. I actually got a camera intended for the purpose of vlogging, this channel, all of that stuff. Essentially, my last video 2 weeks ago, I spent almost an entire day trying to extract my footage onto my computer from my phone, and a lot of blood, sweat, and tears in that process, and wasting time I could have been using on my business and, making things or whatever, that I was like, I can't do this anymore. Also, I am getting my phone camera being full notices. I already have Google Drive, all that stuff. So I have stuff in the cloud, but it was either get a new camera or get a new computer, because my computer is very old, and my phone and my computer were having a hard time talking to each other to share the files, all of that fun stuff. So I considered it an investment in my business, and I got a DJI camera. DJI. So I might be able to share some footage of that. I don't know, because I'm still figuring all of this out. All right. I'm official. I decided to take the plunge because I've been having issues transferring my video files over to my computer. And I figured if I just went ahead and, well, my options were either get a new computer or get a camera specific for all of these activities. And I decided to go with the camera because it was less expensive, and it will be theoretically easier to transfer over my files because I can use insert the memory card directly. So I went with this since all the reviews and everything were telling me to take this route. And yeah, so we'll see. Maybe the rest of this video will be done via this device. Pardon my learning curve as I figure this out. Aside from that, I did get a package from Crafty Kate. I went to her Palm Street, and this was weeks ago at this point, but I had not opened it until this moment. But basically, she did this really cool Palm Street Live where she had a spinning wheel. So cute. And you could win yarn, you could win safety eyes, you could win all sorts of things. You just paid to spin the wheel, and then when you spun the wheel, it would land on something. And sorry, my child came home with friends and my dog lost her mind. But you would spin the wheel and you could win something. So I did 2 wheel spins, and one of them got me these really cool eyes that I thought were perfect for spooky season. Just this really cool orange glitter. And then I got a little stitch marker grab bag, I think. Oh, how fun is this? So it's a bunch of stitch markers, stickers, cute little spooky stickers. It has a pair of scissors for travel scissors, if I can open it. Which would actually be perfect for my little market kit. So I might have to just do that. And it has a bunch of little stitch markers, including one that she made with a little cauldron. How cute is that? Oh, and a sewing needle. Oh my gosh, this is a perfect little travel sewing kit. So yeah, I got that from one of her recent Palm Street lives. It was super fun. I really enjoy seeing how people like get really creative on Palm Street with how they run their lives. Crafty Kate, she did a great job at this. Alligator Goods, if you don't follow her, you need to go follow her. She has so much fun on her lives. I really enjoy them. Yeah, so that's one of the purchases that I got recently. Naughty Pony. All right. It's so funny when like I ordered this stuff, there were things that I definitely knew I was going to need to make, and I could have gotten more colors, but I was like, I 100% will always need more black because of the way I'm doing fairy dragons, and the orange for like, you know, accent colors on the geese, or if I'm doing pumpkins, and then white also for fairy dragons, but also for the shelf geese. But this is her second sale. Let's just take a look at some of these, because I would love to know what makes this not perfect. And I honestly could not tell you. These look like perfect skeins of yarn. Carrie. Oh, there's a knot. I mean, this is amazing. So I don't know if the second sale is still going on. I think it was just until items ran out, but yeah, that was great. She always sends the sweetest little notes. Yeah, so I got white, black, and orange, and that will definitely help with all of the geese and fairy dragons I'm going to be whipping up, because like, I think the fairy dragon takes one full skein of Naughty Pony. It might even take a little bit more than that. And the goose also, I think, takes one full skein. And I think for a second sale, these were like $2 each, maybe? I don't even know. It wasn't bad. And I paid for shipping because I was like, this yarn is so inexpensive at this price. Like, I can cover the cost of shipping. And aside from that, I had a bunch of orders that I packed up a little bit earlier in the week. I've been trying to keep up with filming of orders, but a good problem to have. Sometimes there's a lot of them, and I don't know if people enjoy the packing of orders. I love to have videos running in the background of other businesses and watch what they're packing and like the ASMR of it, as well as kind of seeing like some of their new items. So I include it, but you know, if you don't like it, you can skip ahead. I will start trying to put time blocks in. If I am spending less time putting in the pattern designer name, because I'm actually saying it now, because I did my homework and like wrote it down in advance, then that might give me some more time to do the editing where I don't have to do as much like pop-ups on the screen.
secrets we tell each other, they come out one at a time as they fall on deaf ears at quiet times alone, while we rehearse them in the mirror, waiting for time to be right. When we know the strength inside will match the strength we show, but it's hard enough to face the face who's always staring back. But there's nothing to be ashamed of. We're just being what we're made of, and it comes out in the quiet, between the times we speak, between the times we think we know we're right, between the times we constantly checking if what we're about to say is really what it's worth. Is it our 2 cents or is it nonsense? All these things that we've unearthed, but they come from inside us, and we can no longer hide this. It's bursting at our seams, 'cause our dreams, they divide in us. There's nothing to be ashamed of. We're just being what we're made of, and it comes out in the quiet, between the times we speak, between the times we think we know we're right, between the times away as I float off into the recesses of my brain, searching for the last part of me that might still be the same. As I'm thinking of you and what we might have to go through, I come back down and I almost drown, and that's what you come home. There's nothing to be ashamed of, just being what we're made of, and it comes out in the quiet, between the times we speak, between the times we think we know we're right, between the times we there's nothing to be ashamed of. We're just being what we're made of, and it comes out in the quiet, between the times we speak, between the times we think we know we're right, between the times we're
I did do a thing. I ordered some more Bernat blanket yarn, which I really try not to do at this point because I just only use it for very specific things. But as a result of that, I needed some more of the yarn that I use for very specific things. And in particular, mystical yarn is like my go-to with Bernat blanket yarn, especially the orange. I use this for foxes. I'll use this for the Highland cows, like the one I made. I just happened to be out and didn't have enough to do it for this Highland cow, but they come out beautifully in this. So I had some rewards that were going to expire, so I got a couple skeins of mystical in Bernat blanket. And thank you to everyone who told me what the color was of the green yarn for my sunflower stems. Also, I need to make more sunflowers, but this green is smoky green. And this is perfect for the stems of most of the flowers that I do, in particular though, the sunflowers. I have one sunflower left from my last market. The last few markets where I've had them, I've sold at least 2, and last time was the only time I've had more than 2. And so I sold 2 of them and had 1 left over. So I would like to have some for the market this weekend. So I needed more of this green yarn. So that's perfect. And then last but not least, I was so excited to get this because I went to Michael's in person. My Michael's is getting a little bit better about their yarn selection. I know that like Michael's in general are working on that. So yay, good for them. If my Michael's could suddenly have a great yarn selection, I'd be overjoyed. But they did not have the one that I wanted from this in store, but they did have it online. And it's the anniversary cake for Karen. This one is Tropical Breeze. And I just thought this color was so pretty to do like a granny square cardigan. I've made a couple of them before I was doing amigurumi, and I thought that this would be a really fun yarn to do for like another one for me. So I have to do one more as a gift, and then I'll do one for myself. And when I will do that, I do not know, but it may be end of market season. So who knows? If I ever feel caught up with my markets, maybe that's when I'll do it. Maybe. But yeah, that's my Michael's haul. This was like the main thing. Well, it wasn't the main thing. The smoky green was the main thing. And then I saw they had the mystical, and then they had this, and I had a coupon for I think like 30% off, and stuff was on sale. So it actually didn't come out to be too much money when I got it. So I did not feel super guilty about buying more Bernat blanket, because the last thing I need right now is more Bernat blanket. But as you've seen, like quite a few of the things I made over the last 2 weeks was from Bernat, and I've made a good little dent in my collection. So I actually have room for these yarns that I replenished in my shelves, and eventually I will have less of it so that I can fill the shelves with more Elise Voluto and Premier Parfait and Naughty Pony, because those are pretty much my 3 yarns at this point. I can share a couple new things I have for my shop though. First up, I have some new amigurumi sticks, and how cute are those? I can't tell if it's focusing or not. I think it is. So I have a bunch of new designs, but this might be one of my favorite ones of the new designs. I really like the moon. I think it's cute. The star I've had in a couple of designs now, but doing a combo with the moon is just adorable. I know. Speaking of adorable, he is a Scottish fold, so his ears are very crinkly. Yeah. You don't like being the center of attention? I feel like he is on the verge of falling off of this. Hi. I know. Yeah. I think he gets acid reflux when he purrs too much too. I have a weird cat. I know, Gizmo. I used to teach yoga, and during the pandemic I was doing it virtually, and he would come and like climb on me while I was doing yoga, especially when I was doing like cat-cow pose. He loved that. Anyways, yeah, I have a lot to do. So thank you so much for hanging out with me, for bearing with me through all of these updates and for missing my week. I have completely fallen off the wagon of crochet roulette, but please do not let that deter you from doing it. I highly recommend you go check out Tracy from Travel Crochet's channel, and I will continue to list all the participants in travel or in crochet roulette below. I do plan on catching up at some point and finishing the challenge. I just have been dealing with so much stuff recently. I couldn't handle the stress of another thing at the moment, and it's been a really fun challenge. I really like talking to all of the other participants that are leading the progress through it, especially because they are more diligent in actually doing their posts and makes. But definitely go check out their channel so you can see what's going on with Travel Roulette. And yeah, I appreciate you being here today. I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, please consider hitting that like button or subscribing or both to this channel so you can see future videos. So next up, theoretically, I should have my market vlog where I talk about one, if not both of those markets coming up, as well as talking through like the setup of how I got to the layout and if I actually stuck with that format for my upcoming markets this weekend. But it should be a really busy, good week, and I can't wait to talk to you again soon. Thanks so much. Bye.